Thank you so much for that introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. First, to the members of the National Panel and Council of Mercer University and the advisors, let me say thank you for the invitation to speak to you today. And to the members of the Mercer community and those throughout the Macon Bibb community in attendance today, also say good evening. As my bio is projected on the screen, as you can see, I tend to stay busy on most days. From serving in various positions within my fraternity to being active in my church and the community in which we're all fortunate to live in, I have found joy in service. It is that premise from where I'd like to focus my brief remarks to you today. Going me a moment to the summer of 2017, the House Financial Services Committee of the U.S. Congress was in session, and U.S. Secretary of Treasury Stephen Mnuchin was testifying before the committee and engaged in conversation with Congresswoman Maxine Waters, better known as Auntie Maxine. Congresswoman Waters was attempting to find out why the Secretary's office did not respond to an inquiry from her office. After she questioned the Secretary on the matter, he began to dodge the question and run out the time that the Congresswoman had to press him on the matter. With her knowledge of the committee's rules, Auntie Maxine stated that she was going to reclaim her time, in which forced the Secretary to yield. For our time this evening, I'd like to pose the question, how do we reclaim our democracy? In order for our democracy to prosper and flourish in a way that is fair and balanced to and for all of us, it requires our active participation. Yes, that includes posting statuses on Facebook or reposting a tweet, but it demands more than that. Our democracy allows for differences in fact, but it depends on differences of opinions. And for far too long has the opinions of people of color and millennials been placed on the bottom shelf. However, our moment has come. Our time is now. The opportunity to add our voice to the table with our expectations and demands on what policy we want to pursue and in what order we want them established starts with us educating ourselves on the candidates in every race. From who the local dog catcher is to who sits in the Oval Office. Add your voice to discussion first through education. Secondly, as we seek to reclaim our democracy, we must get involved. Now here's the truth that's not often shared. When you finally make the decision to get involved, know that there will be naysayers. There are some who would rather die with power than yield it in their living to ensure that wisdom is passed down. As an executive board member of the Democratic Party, I am constantly reminded of that. We have a major generational divide in our party, but it's reflective on that in our county and across our country. It's where young, ambitious, motivated willpowers like you and I are met with seasoned, war-battered, calculating elders, and rhetoric starts flowing, but action is delayed. But when you're faced with opposition in your quest to do good, don't get discouraged. Don't throw in the towel, but stand with your feet planted and fight the good fight. Rest if you must, but do not quit. Third and finally, to reclaim our democracy calls on us to disrupt what's happening in the world around us and not accept it merely as the status quo. As millennials, we must take our seat at the table. However, you can't just wake up one day and demand a seat to be pushed up for you. You must be credentialed, you must be tested, you must show that you are capable to endure, that you have a passion for service, and that you are willing to put others before self. Last month, Ayanna Pressley, a city councilwoman from Boston, upended the entire political order of Massachusetts and defeated a 10-term sitting congressman, and is on track to become the first African-American woman to represent the state in Congress. Here in Georgia, a black woman named Stacey Abrams, graduate of Spelman and Yale, and minority leader in the Georgia General Assembly, won the Democratic Party primary with over 75% of the vote. And with our help, she too can upend the political order in our state and be elected as our next governor. And here locally, a business owner named Dr. Anissa Jones, who is sick and tired of being told to wait her turn while the status quo remained, stood up and added her voice to the dialogue and was elected to the Macon Water Authority. Let's give Dr. Jones. These three melanin queens are present-day proof of what can, could, and will happen when we reclaim our democracy. However, it cannot, could not, and will not happen if we do not get out and vote. And I'm not talking about on election day, but during early voting. Here in Macon, we have a choice to vote by mail on a Saturday, and because of the presence of the local Democratic Party, even on a Sunday. Excuses are tools of incompetence, which builds monuments of nothingness, and those who specialize in them seldom accomplish anything else. As members of the Greek community, we know that poem or some variation of it far too well. Let's not choose now to specialize in excuses. Let's use these last few days to register to vote. Register others to vote. I'm sure everyone here is registered to vote, right? To help someone complete an absentee ballot. To take our friends and neighbors to the polls. To educate ourselves and the family on the candidates and ballot initiatives. Volunteer your time, talent, and treasure to candidates you support. And mobilize your networks to do the same. And most importantly, vote. Vote as if you have something to lose. Because you did. We did. The soul of our democracy for future generations is dependent on whether or not we make the decision to reclaim it. Let's get it done. Thank you.
Let's give them another round of applause, please. Okay, next we will have Dr.